Whole body's in.
Okay. Dan and Rach go over, I think it's actually, Rach goes over in the basics how to make a fist, so I'm not even going to cover that again. When you do your fighting stances, you always want to keep your fists up, and they always want to be tight, and you always want to keep your elbows in. All right? Now, for your first basic punch, all punching and kicking comes from the ground, through your hips, into either your kick or through your shoulder and into your leg. So the first thing that always moves is going to be your foot. So for your basic jab, when you punch, you want to have the first thing that moves is going to be your foot is going to come to where it's pushing off the ground. That, as you can see, puts your weight into your punch. If it's just this is only the strength in your arm. This is only the momentum that you can get in your arm. Even if you do this, now you've got your hips involved, so you've got more of your body strength. But when you do it all together and you push, you put your body weight behind it. That's where the strength in a punch comes from. There are several types of jabs, and Dan goes over some of them. You know, some of them are just quick. It's just a distance measuring. You really want to keep somebody out of your face, so you're not looking for power. But when you're looking for power in your punch and you want to get your heart rate up, you want to get your whole body into it. So the first thing that moves is you push through that back leg. So since you're slightly on it, you push. From there, it goes up through your hip, into your shoulder, and drives into that punch. Just like Dan says, elbow is slightly turned, and you're punching with your first two knuckles. So it's here and back. You always keep this hand up here. Out and back. All right? Notice again, one more time, the heel, shoulder, arm, and back. You always want to come back. Same thing to the other side. You're going to start with the push forward, shoulder, into there. Okay? From the front, it looks like this. Punch, here. Okay? For the rear hand, for your cross, it's the same thing. You're pushing from here, but you're also twisting a little bit. So your body, your hips are going to take that power off of your back leg and generate through. So, heel, leg, hip, shoulder, punch. It comes up and it twists in. Again, soft elbow. You never want to hyperextend. All right? And then come back. So, you're going to twist and punch all at the same time. Turn your body and come back. Your weight's going to be on your front foot. 80% of your weight is onto your front foot because it's pushed off of the floor from your back leg. Same thing on the other side. You push and twist into your punch. When you do a jab cross, you start out with the push there, and then you sink further into it. So one more time, the push goes here, and your body continues in this way. So it's a punch, punch, and then back to here. Hook punch. The hook is one that I see a lot of people when they're doing these cardio martial arts routines. You don't generate a whole lot of heart rate. Your heart rate doesn't get up because people don't know how to do a good hook punch. And the way Dan describes it is perfect. You want a 90-degree bend in your arm, all right? And it really is right there. But where it comes from, again, is from the floor through your hips. So this is not going to knock anybody out. But you turn your body. The punch gains some momentum as it gets into that position. But the first thing that goes is you release the heel, you turn your upper body, and you keep that 90 degrees. So your fist never really goes much beyond where your own head is. And that's another point. Your imaginary opponent is always the exact same size as you. So when you do a hook punch, your punch is just past your own head and it comes back. All right? And there's a couple of different ones. I mean, you can do it in tight this way, but you notice again, my foot is turned, my hip, and it's past center. It's body weight that gets it. Same thing from the backhand. It's body weight. As that shoulder starts to bring it, your fist is in line with your shoulder here, it's going to move a little bit through and then come back. The punch motion on this is really only that. So how do you generate heart rate with that? You use your whole body. You engage every muscle from the floor up here. And if you want to reach out a little bit more with it, you're going to add a little bit more movement to it. All right? And that's, again, going to add momentum, and it's going to get your heart rate up a little bit more. So you can reach out a little bit. So now I don't have the 90 degree. I have a little bit less than 90 degrees. I reach out like I'm going to do a jab, but I turn it into that hook, and then I pull it into the 90 degrees. So the movement is out and slightly in. Again, it hooks out and comes back here. So when it's fast, it's going to be a knockout punch. All right? Again, it's the whole body. A lot of it is your core. When you tighten up your core, you are relaxed, boom. You breathe out, you tighten your core. Brett Hobel says, fire your abs. Dan and Rachel say, abs on, all the time. That comes up, that tension is right at that last second of the punch. Right there, but you've got the whole body engaged. When you engage your whole body, your heart rate goes up. Uppercuts, they cover really well. Just a couple of points that I want to make is when you do an uppercut, your target is right here. You can do an uppercut to the body here, okay? But for purposes of the combat videos, you want to do an uppercut through here. Your imaginary opponent is right where you are. So you don't ever have to punch up past here, but if you're going to punch, you know, you want to get higher than here. You start, again, twist your body, turn your hips. This gives a tight coil. So your body is engaged and you come up, you breathe out, just up past your opponent's chin, and then back. So you set, punch, boom. Set, punch, back. Rear hand is the same thing. Drop your shoulder, drive from your heel, through your hip, and up. So you set, punch, and back. And that starts to get more fluid as you do it more often. So when you're doing combinations, just a jab, cross, hook, up, this is what your feet look like. They go forward, turn, back, up. You go jab, cross, hook, up. Your feet are doing just as much work as your upper body. Your core is engaging, so you've got 4 times where your core is flexing and relaxing. That's how you get your heart rate up. If you just do this, you're going to be wasting your time. You've got to get every muscle engaged, and you've got to breathe out. Breathing is important, and that's going to take me to the yell. Dan and Rachel say the word kiai. Kiai works. That's the Japanese word for yell. Koreans call it kia. And it can come out in any way, shape, form. Bruce Lee had a very distinctive yell, and everybody knew it. It had that really high pitch. I knew a lady when I did Taekwondo, she used to yell pow. So when she would kick you, she would go pow! And we started making fun of that and yelling bam, biff, boo, you know, doing the Batman stuff. But that's really what it is. It's a tightening and a release of the diaphragm. But that helps you to focus your internal and external power, you know, and at that instant of impact. So you want to inhale before you punch and exhale as you punch. And when it's a sharp out, you can say kiai, you can yell aya, whatever, but it's at that pow instant. And you're going to feel silly when you do it at first. Everybody, when they start a martial arts class, they feel goofy the first couple of times they yell. But then when you start to really get into it and you start to feel how much more power you can generate just by getting that pow yell, it's amazing, and it all starts to come out. So when you're in your house, you're at home. Hopefully you're at home alone, but maybe you're not. You know, who cares? It's your own house. Yell, make a total fool of yourself. You'll find that you generate more power. So before you punch, inhale, exhale, boom, and make some noise with it.